Here we go. Man, fucking crazy, crazy week. It's just like how big certain stories got. And we're live. Fucking crazy, crazy week.
Yeah.
It's just like how big certain stories
Welcome.
got. Yes, definitely welcome. And we're live. Fucking crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You mean like the Will Smith slap?
Yeah, the Will Smith slap, the fucking commercial heard around the world. Fucking Christ, man. I mean, first of all, I don't think anybody rational would ever justify Will Smith as being in the right there. Like, I think even the fucking Academy is taking his award. But isn't it
Yeah.
really odd that Pfizer is just about to come out with a new alopecia medication?
Yeah, I literally just heard that like 15 minutes ago. I was like, holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I was kind of
So
iffy on
weird.
whether that was real or not.
Oh, no, you roboted out on me for that last statement there.
I don't even remember what I said.
Uh, we
Yeah, I
were
don't
we were
know,
commenting on
man.
the incredible sus.
If Chris Rock was in on it, I know.
I
If Chris
that
Rock
was
was actually in on it, I hope he got a shitload of money
yeah to be made to look like a total
to
bitch in
fucking
front of
get
everybody.
fucking bitch slapped like that.
Then
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
then again, it's entirely possible that all of his stuff was written. He made the joke, and the only one who was in on it was Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. Like they know the joke's going. She
yeah.
does
That is
this
possible.
incredibly ridiculous overreaction to it, and then he gets up and does that whole big routine. Because that just to me was like, dude, there's no way he ends up slapping
Yeah,
Chris Rock when Chris Rock could just step backwards slightly. You know what I mean? Like the guy's clearly coming at you
yeah.
with
He leaned
like
forward,
vicious intent, leaning into your space, getting real close and aggressive. All you got to do is just lean back a little bit.
and why a fucking yeah. The whole situation was just bizarre.
Yeah, I don't
Mm.
understand what was going on with that. That thing was obviously dude, just ridiculous. I thought was funny was of all people, Jim Carrey had like one of the better takes that I've heard. They were asking him about it, and he was like, "I'm incredibly
Mm.
saddened. This was a horrible thing that happened. This is absolutely unacceptable behavior." And I understand that Will Smith is going through all sorts of terrible things, and my heart goes out to him. I hate Will Smith, but this is not how we behave in a modern society. You don't get to go up and slap somebody because you don't like the words that came out of their mouth. That's not how it works. I was like, Jesus, go fucking Jim Carrey suddenly going from crazy to based.
Yeah, yeah. It is. Well, a lot of people had the same take, but they're like, so you're okay with your wife getting dicked down by fucking like 20 dudes over the years, but the
Yeah,
fucking joke about her baldness really got to you?
yeah, that was one where you were like, really? All right. Like, dude. Oh, did you see
Yeah.
Unknown Archives ridiculous video about it? He's all 100% on Will
I
Smith's
don't
side,
think
by
I
the way.
did.
Yeah, he's 100% Will Smith's side. He's like, that's just, you gotta defend your wife. I'm like, what do you mean defend your wife? It's a joke. It's not an attack. Nobody hurt Will Smith's
Do you?
wife. You know, I left a comment that was pretty assertive,
Yeah.
basically saying
Yeah.
like the act of an adult is to handle these situations with words. The act of a spoiled child is to go up and think that they get to just run in fist frenzy because somebody said something they don't like. If you can't handle jokes and you can't
Yeah.
handle conversation, don't go out in public. Save the rest of us a problem. You know, that's my opinion on it. If you can't handle yourself, don't fucking go out in public anymore because we don't deserve to have to put up with that bullshit. That's why we have laws. That's why we have prisons. You know, I'm genuinely disappointed that Chris
Mhm.
Rock is not pressing charges on that one. By the way, which further supports my opinion that he's probably in on it. Because like,
Yeah, definitely would not be surprising.
yeah. So or then again, it could be completely, real. But I really, it's just the timing is too fucking suspicious. Like they literally just passed phase 3 trials, and this reeks to me of like publicity stunt, advertisement, and suddenly people care about the Oscars that didn't give a shit. Because you know what? Nobody's watching the Oscars. That's why it got so spread around on all social media, is because nobody
Yeah,
nobody saw it when it happened. They
yeah,
all saw it after the fact and shared it like, holy crap! I know nobody else watched it, but you guys got to see this. So like next year they're gonna be like waiting. They're like, all right, I want to see Jason Statham beat the fuck out of somebody. Come on, this it's his year. Jason Statham versus The Rock. Instead of like being in a movie, let's have him do it in real life on fucking stage at the Oscars. I support
yeah.
Celebrity Purge at the next Oscars. We arm them all, and
I
only
want
one comes out
to see
alive.
him start. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I'm thinking what they need to do is go full WWE, and start causing beef right before the Oscars and start cutting promos on each other. That would help with their, people would watch like, a lot more people would watch instead of waiting to, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
wait to watch until something happens.
Lead it off with The Rock, because The Rock knows, he used to be the wrestler. So, that's old hat for him. So he'll set the tone as the first one to go out and like cut the beef, start the beef up. And the rest of them can take their cue from him, like, all right, this is the intensity and the style that
Yeah,
we got to match. It's a good way to go. I personally, though,
yeah,
I'm
dude.
still leaning
I'm
towards
thinking like
Celebrity
as many
Purge.
as possible.
I want to see which celebrity ends up being like the fucking
Uh,
like one survivor. Because I figure you put that many narcissists in
yeah,
one room and you make it clear that like one of them lives one way or the other. They can decide, or we can just decide at random. I guarantee they start going off on each other quick. Like all those like bullshit friendships that they fake. Oh, that's done fast.
mhm,
And I figure people like The
yeah.
Rock will be out quick because they'll get mobbed. You know what I mean? Like there'll be like six dudes be like, we got to take him out now as a group. We can figure this out between the rest of us later. Yeah. God, that'd be the most entertaining the Oscars could possibly be, like ever, for any
I'm thinking
reason.
like no guns or any projectile weapons.
Oh yeah, no. Swords, knives,
Like,
baseball bats, like chain maces, or flails or whatever you call them, where it's got like the spiky ball on
fucking
the chain.
uh, like it's just them shooting each other. Not even any edged weapons, dude. Just like like bats and just no edged weapons, no guns,
Okay,
no
so no edged
projectiles, like
weapons of any
no
kind.
bow and
So
arrow.
so then like
Oh,
baseball bats, maybe like your standard mace, and then but like like 10 baseball bats to every standard mace. You know what I mean? Like you don't want too many of those out there. And then what would be the other one? Like a bow, not like a bow like bow and arrow bow, but like a bow like a long staff like Donatello used in the Turtles. Just the long stick, quarter staff. I think that's the better term for it. Oh, he's gone very quiet now. Oh, I think we've lost him. I think it's all over. Oh, I have a feeling he was playing his cell phone game and got disconnected again. Ah, you've returned, sir.
All right. Is it working now?
Yeah, you've come back to us
Can
from
you
the
hear?
dead. You have returned from the dead.
Yeah, no,
We
I was
welcome you.
here. I was hearing you the whole time.
Oh, you
But
keep
then
roboting a little bit here and there too.
yeah,
Maybe you just have like a bad connection right now.
yeah, the Wi-Fi especially. Yeah, it looks like it switched over. Yeah. All right.
That was all robot for me, dude. I have no idea what you said, but yes, I agree. No, I have no idea what you're saying. Okay, maybe you have a bad headset.
Now.
I can tell you're back on. Say some more
All
stuff.
right.
Oh, okay, that's a little clearer. I'm not getting the
Uh,
immediate roboting this time.
okay. All right. Yeah. I
Oh, come
don't know
on, really?
what's
It just
going on.
immediately goes to robot again. Oh, that timing was awful. The second you start talking again, it just goes right to robot. For fuck's sake, dude. This is just. Oh no. Oh, it is not your day, Mister Deitois.
Still nothing.
I'm not really getting anything. It's all robot-y. Oh man. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a good thing nobody's watching. Yeah, your internet definitely sucks. I don't know what's going on. Cause like it'll. So what's going on is you'll get like one or two words in, and then it'll just go immediately to robot, like on like just an awful roboting.
Fuck, man.
I got
And
fucked,
this is a
man.
fucking mobile data. I figured that would be right.
Yeah, I have no idea. Oh, fun times. Oh, oh. God damn, I worked the last 10 days straight. So I'm fucking wiped. I finally got to sleep in my own bed last night. Last night was my first night off. Oh, I can't tell if you're trying to talk or not.
All right. All right. We'll see if that worked.
Oh, we got something going now, hopefully. Because I heard what you said. You said, all right, we'll see how that works.
Yeah.
So.
I don't. The fucking. I was. All right.
Oh, man. This is entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. 100%. This is the highest quality of entertainment we can provide. Oh no. Welcome to the Connections Show. Oh wow, yo. Oh, are we testing something out? Maybe.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're coming through better. Definitely better than you were.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It like signed me out of the fucking internet thing. I thought it had reset because it does that a lot lately.
Oh yeah.
But it had switched over to the mobile data, which is usually, I mean, not great, but it's usually good enough. But yeah, the mobile data was sucking ass.
Oh, okay. So then it was connection. Oh, what's up, Mr. Stenchover? Oh, let's see. Oh, I saw a badass like short video with Nicolas Cage on GQ. And
Oh
basically
yeah.
they had him look at like a lot of the funny Nicolas Cage sort of memes and stuff on the internet. And he was super like actually pretty reasonable about all of it. Like he just answered a few questions that people asked about weird shit that's gone on, like the thing with the pulling of the teeth or whatever. Um, like the teeth had to go either way, so it's not like he just, you know, did that specifically for the role. It just happened to be good timing that he, get the teeth pulled out, so he would definitely look like he was in genuine pain because he was.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and then the
Right.
other stuff, it seems like part of it might have just been like him kind of fucking around and people being stupid and believing a little more than what he actually said. Like something about like an acting method in books and stuff like he was going to write. But I liked his response to, well, what do you think about all these memes? He's like, well, I mean, it's there. What am I going to do about it? Like, fucking, what's the point? Like, why even care? I thought that was amazing. He has no social media whatsoever.
Right.
So
Wow.
there is no Nicolas Cage. He's not on TikTok. He's not on Twitter. He's not on Facebook. He's not on MySpace. Musically, any of them. I was like, he's a smart dude. Like that. That
Good for
makes me think
him.
he's a little less insane
Yeah.
and a little more intelligent. Of course, they call it
Yeah.
acting.
Yeah. Good for him, man.
Yeah. I also like the question. He was like, one of the people asked, like, does he turn down movie offers? He's like, I know that that's not what you want to hear, but yes, all the time. I was like, he's very aware of the memes and stuff. Like, you can tell he kind of knows all this and just doesn't give a shit. He just takes it all with really good humor in it.
Right.
It was fairly entertaining. And it's only like a 5-minute video. I posted it, but I would recommend checking that out just for the lulz. Oh man. Oh, did you see the fucking crazy dude from the fucking Mississippi that ran for office? And he legitimately called for the execution of transgender people by firing squad. Like it's not
Christ,
like
dude.
you like hold on, let's see. But it's not quite the same thing. Some of y'all still want to try and find. This is his words out of the article here. Some of y'all still want to try and find political compromise with those that want to groom our school-age children and pretend men are women, etc. He follows up with, "I think they need to be lined up against a wall before a firing squad to be sent to an early judgment." And then when they asked him about it later, he said, "I said what I said. The law should be changed so that anyone trying to sexually groom children and are advocating to put men pretending to be women in the locker rooms and bathrooms with young women should receive the death penalty by firing the squad." he just doubled all the way down. He surprisingly didn't win the election. Like
Right.
not even the primary. Oh, he won less than 18% of the primary vote, so he didn't even get to run for office, technically speaking. But that's still a high percentage though, because that makes me think it was like
Yeah, that's actually not bad.
17.5%. It's a little concerning in its own way, but I was like, that's kind of fun, fucked up, and funny all at the same time. Like this dude's like, well, you know what? I don't think these people that want to write this, the laws keeping the gender education and the indoctrination shit out of like kindergarten through first grade. I don't think that's enough. I think we need to just start killing people with firing squads. Just like, goddamn, dude.
Uh, although it is fucking pretty ridiculous how they're trying to frame it. Although I haven't read the bill, I should read the bill to make sure. But from what I understand, it's basically just saying like, yeah, we don't want this shit being taught to fucking kids that are in fucking kindergarten through third grade. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
don't need to be fucking hearing about sex and fucking
Because they're
genders
because they're
and
children and
fucking
they're not sexual. Yeah, it's such a basic
yeah.
concept. I have yet to hear. I don't think I've met a single person who doesn't agree with that. Like just in like interacting with humans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really wonder where all these fucking people are. Because you never seem to run into them in real life.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bizarre. Well,
They
you see the
they
Hollywood
only
corporate
exist.
push, but yeah, you don't ever run into real people that believe that, which is really like bizarre because like where is this coming from? What's the purpose behind it? What's the deeper purpose? Personally, I think there's a lot of people pushing to legalize pedophilia in as many respects as they can figure out how to do it before Biden is out of office. That's the way I see what's going
Yeah,
on because
yeah,
every time you turn around, there's more and more sexual predators being like thrown into classrooms and given free reign. I mean, even their Supreme Court nominee is like, we shouldn't give actual sentences to the fucking pedophiles that get busted. We should just give them like a tenth of their fucking time. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Like, what the fuck, guys? I think we should all be able to find common
that
ground and
bitch.
like, let's not allow child molestation.
Did that bitch actually get confirmed, or
I imagine it's still tied up in Congress. I don't know what the numbers are as far as Congress goes, and I don't know if the Republicans can draw it out to the point where they can just refuse until like the end of the term for Biden, and then the next person would be able to pick somebody else. Or if they can even make it to the point where the midterms and then potentially, get a Republican advantage to like prevent that person from being voted in. I don't know how the whole
yeah,
system works, so I
just get
couldn't
into
tell
the
you.
midterm?
Yeah, I can understand people being upset about that too, though. Also, it's like if you believe Biden was voted into office legitimately, which I don't agree with at all. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I don't think there's a whole lot of people that do.
then you would be justified in being very angry that the person he picked for the Supreme Court was, prevented by political subterfuge, essentially, like working around the rules. But I don't see that one ending well in the press like that if they don't put his pick in office. Who is he replace or who is she replacing though? That's the question. Is she replacing an
That
already
black
left
guy,
wing, or
that
was it a
black
right wing guy?
guy that retired. Yeah,
But was he right wing or left
no, it was a
wing?
left wing guy.
Okay, so then it
Because some
wouldn't
guy
upset the balance.
left wing, dude.
We'd still have 5-4
Yeah,
Republican justices either way.
yeah. It's a guy that, dude. For being on the Supreme Court, I had literally never heard of the guy.
Yeah, yeah, he just kind of like stayed in the background and just was very quiet and voted left like he was supposed to. Essentially, I'm guessing. Yeah, I don't know. I'd
Yeah,
prefer I'd
yeah,
prefer another conservative justice. Um, I think the last two that got put into place
yeah,
were extremely good choices. For the given
yeah,
given the options available, given the other choices that
yeah,
could have been made, those were like the better options. And I would love to see another similar choice be made. More of a as
yeah.
written,
There's no way.
more as written people on the bench,
Yeah,
less interpretation people on the bench would be lovely.
And it's still sickening that he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna choose a black woman to be the next Supreme Court justice, even if
Yeah.
they're more qualified people. Fuck them."
Yeah, well, and now whoever gets in there on his nomination is always going to be like, well, did I get in there because I was the choice for the job or because I was the winning color? Like they're always going to have an asterisk by their name now. He didn't need to say anything. He could have just nominated a black woman. Coming out and making a point of saying it just queers the fucking pitch. Poisoning the well kind of thing. At least in my mind.
Yeah, no, that bitch seems like fucking kind of unhinged, dude.
Yeah, no, she refused to define like what makes like a woman. Like that's not an acceptable answer for anybody who's going to be a judge. Like that's just basic English language. You can't. I wouldn't
Yeah,
allow somebody like that to take office were it my decision. And in fact, I would
yeah.
strip them of
I
whatever
remember.
authority they had as a judge prior to that, or attorney. I would take them completely out of the legal system.
Yeah, I can't remember what somebody responded to that same kind of bullshit about not being able to find it. Like, I'm not a biologist, and then they're like, I'm not a vet, but I know what a fucking dog is.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yep. 100% agree with that.
Yeah, yeah, it's fucking insanity, dude. I'm still not 100. Uh,
God damn, sorry.
I'm still not 100% convinced that my social media feed isn't from an alternate wacky dimension.
Yeah, some of the shit that goes on, you're just like, wow, dude, what the fuck is this? Oh, here's one that'll make you actually. This kind of make you think of an alternate dimension right here. Can you watch the stream or?
All right, yeah, I can.
Yeah, let me know when you're checking it out, and I want to play a little clip on the Discord.
Come on, internet. Jesus
Oh no, is this going to
fucking
kill your
Christ.
microphone? Maybe this is a mistake.
Yeah, although, well, I should be turning everything down now. I forgot to do when I started. Oh,
Are you on?
oh, not that one. What the fuck? All right. Wheel is still spinning. The wheel is spinning. 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 Jesus fucking
You see it.
Christ.
You
Okay.
see it now,
Wait.
right?
Wait. Nope, it's spinning again. I see a woman with gigantic. Yeah, yeah. The
What?
gigantic, ridiculously oversized tits. Why would you
But
do that?
oh, look at the back
Like,
end.
that's not hot.
That's
There's nothing hot
disturbing.
about that.
Like I was like,
Yeah,
that
dude.
might be an interdimensional creature right there. I'm just saying. You were talking about your dimension, your feed being from another dimension. I think I know where it originates, and it's
Jeez.
probably her. Oh my god,
Dude,
yeah.
there's
She didn't even
nothing
look human.
attractive about that, dude.
She looks inhuman.
No,
She
that's
looks like a
that's
fucking
fucking
weird
gross.
robot demon thing. Like I just like Alex
Yeah,
Jones would have a fucking
I know.
great day with that one. Oh man.
Yeah, it turns out you can have tits that are too big.
Yeah. I don't think it's a size thing. It's how weirdly perfectly round they were and perky for that size. Like those aren't
Yeah, it's like
like remotely close to natural. Like if big boobs like that naturally would at least sag a
yeah,
little
it's
bit.
like they shoved fucking like you shoved basketballs inside her fucking tits, dude.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it looks so weird. And then her ass is like the same way, but just ridiculously oversized to the point where you're like, can she even sit down without like
Yeah.
rupturing a butt cheek? Like, is there like a pop risk going on every time she sits? Here's the thing. How can that possibly be
And
comfortable?
fucking her ass just deflates.
Yeah. Like, how can that possibly be comfortable for her? That's the part I don't get. It's like,
And it's not attractive, dude. Like
oh
it's just
God, not
not.
at all.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, and the way she carries herself makes you realize, like, she
yeah. That's
clearly thinks she is hot stuff. Oh,
yeah, yeah. That's unfortunate because she had all that done and just stuck looking like a mutated freak that nobody would want to fucking touch.
I would be uncomfortable being in the same
Yeah, well,
room.
somebody will be into it.
Oh yeah, no, she's a chick. Somebody want to fuck her. Somebody will be like, "Oh, this is because it's the best thing ever." Somebody who probably doesn't understand like human, like Mark Zuckerberg would marry this chick and be like, "Look at my attractive
Right,
human
right,
wife. We are going to have a barbecue
right.
like normal humans." You can tell she's attractive because she has large breasts. Oh no. Oh, I'm picturing that in my head, like, because you can just clearly see the two of them walking, like, down a fucking. She's probably got a good 6 inches on him because he looks like one of them short dudes. You know, like he doesn't look like he's much over 5'7" or 7'5"
Yeah,
the most. Uh,
the lips were too much. The,
yeah, the face itself was disturbing enough,
the
but then
lips
as you
were
just
too
kept
much.
scrolling down, it just keeps
Ugh.
getting worse.
Yeah. Why? Who the fuck did that? She had way outside, and like, fucking, yeah, it was fucking. Seems like it would be unethical. Yeah.
You would think so, but there's
Yeah. What doctor did that?
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
sure somebody who probably charged a whole lot more money than they should have gotten paid for doing that horrible thing to that poor woman. Yeah, you should be put into an asylum and kept safe from yourself long before you get to that point. Ugh. I'm all about like there's personal freedom and then there's like just legitimately being insane and like I think that counts as like this woman is legitimately just like got some severe mental issues that are not
Yeah.
healthy for her.
Like that bitch that wanted to look like a Barbie doll. Like that. That seems like some kind of mental illness.
Oh yeah, the ones that there's two of them, and they got something done so that their eyes are like twice the size, or something. They have like legitimate anime eyes. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She's like a Russian model of some kind or something. Anastasia Spagna. Yeah. Oh, it's a Ukrainian woman. Oh, hey, there you go. Topical.
But yeah, it would really be interesting to see, like, just have her walking down a street, in any city.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Because
for sure.
like I said, it would be tough to. It would be really tough to stifle your reaction to that. Like, ugh.
There's a wiki. Oh no. So there is a couple of girls. One of them like a Ukrainian model. Um, and I'm gonna post an image of one of them right here. But they've had like weird eye surgery to make their eyes look weird, like super large compared to like normal human eyes.
Oh right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a fake wiki called Anime and Human uh, that's devoted to describing them as like a different species. because they got them big old anime eyes.
Right.
I thought that was pretty good. Disturbing. And she's Ukrainian. So it's topical because of the Ukraine-Russian war going on. Yeah, that's going to go for a long time before fucking Russia loses. And now they're talking about food
Indeed.
shortages like much more seriously, despite the fact that like they destroyed like thousands of pounds of food like the last few years. They've gone after farmers destroying tons and tons of fucking crops. The part that's really fucking bizarre about this concept of food shortages is like it's going to cost the average American about $5,000 a year or more in food, which is massive. Because I mean, you're talking about, let's see, I should have done this math before. You're looking at like $420 or so extra per month for the average household. Every month they're going to be spending another $400 on food. Like that's a massive, massive fucking increase to people's like expenses. Yeah, like the middle and upper middle class will be fine, but everyone else is fucked. Yo. Oh, so I was talking about the increase in the food costs because of the food shortages that are coming.
So we get a lot of food from the Ukraine.
No, we get a lot of food from Russia. Like I think we get like Russia exports like 30% of the world's wheat comes from Russia. I want to say it's 30%. It might be different, but more importantly, a huge percentage, like 80% of the potash and this other chemical that go to make fertilizer, come from Russia. So it's not necessarily just that they grow a lot of wheat in Russia, though they do. And like there's places where like 100% of their wheat comes from Russia, that are going to have massive starvation issues. But also it's going to affect every single food item because fertilizer, from the top to the very bottom, affects everything in food production. Whether it's producing wheat and corn and all the other stuff that we need for humans, or it's producing feed to feed the animals that we raise and eat. It genuinely fucks the whole system up. So it's a very bad thing that Russia produces that much fertilizer. And the weird thing is, the United States shouldn't be dealing with food shortages because we can produce enough food for our country easily within our own borders. Like between like,
Yeah.
Iowa and like the Midwest and California's ability to grow food, we shouldn't be having any real concerns about any sort of food shortages. In fact, we should be exporting. But instead, guess who we have to buy our food from because that's where more food production is done? China.
Wow.
Right? It all comes back to China because they're the ones trying to take us over with this whole propaganda bullshit push, which explains why the U.S. government would be destroying people's crops all last year. Like you can literally go online and see video of them forcing farmers to like just dump thousands upon thousands of tons of cherries on the fucking ground. Farmers driving their own like tilling machines over their fully grown crops and tilling them back into the ground. So this food shortage that's coming up, it's definitely engineered as well as like, and it's definitely not solely because of the Ukraine-Russian issue. It's a lot of it is policy.
Yeah.
But they're going to say no, it's all Vladimir Putin. But it's been coming for a while. I think they wanted to make it worse because the die-off in third world countries. I mean, we're going to have people dying of starvation in the United States. Like there probably are people dying of starvation in the United States, but there will be more in the United States, though it won't be anywhere near as bad as it will be for people in third world countries. They're going to be dying by like the thousands of just not getting enough food, like in Africa and stuff like that. I mean, imagine if you were Ethiopian at this point, you just go fucking kill yourself because it's going to be a lot quicker and a lot less painful.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't genuinely encourage anyone to commit suicide on the off chance the fucking YouTubes they're spying on us this time.
Right.
Yeah, it's just
Right,
like
yeah.
Christ.
Why the fuck would you want to look? I'm sorry, I was just looking at the picture you posted of the fucking chick, the anime looking chick.
Yeah.
Fucking bizarre, dude. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, they should really be committed.
Right? Like that's harmful. Like that cannot be good for you. Oh, hey, Mr. Samaj has posted our link in somebody's Discord. I think that was 9-7. Oh, he's on live with gaming yelling now.
Shit.
Oh, I just noticed when I was looking through Discord just to see if there was anything interesting going on. There was I found a story on TikTok. Some fucking 13-year-old lit herself on fire for a TikTok trend. The trend was to write your name and rubbing alcohol on a mirror and then light it on fire for a video, which is
gotcha.
really, really fucking stupid. But you know, like you top that off with a 13-year-old doing it like I burned over like most of her body or something like that. She literally caught herself on fire, I guess.
Yeah.
As of yet, I have not been able to find any video of that, which is unfortunate. There may
Fucking
not be
sad.
video. You know, so I mean, if you're gonna light yourself on fire for TikTok, you know, after fucking up, the least you can do is post it. You know, don't make that suffering for nothing.
Yeah.
Let us get some enjoyment out of it. Oh my god.
Possibly stop other retards from doing it as well.
By like, oh hey, yeah, that bitch just caught on fire. Maybe I shouldn't spray flammable liquid at random things and light it on fire in my house in an enclosed space. Oh my god.
God, if you're listening, if you actually exist, just pull the plug.
Just pull the plug. God, it's time to be done.
Just fucking pull the plug on all that.
Make it stop.
Yeah, the experiment has obviously failed. Irreconcilable.
You know, I mean, if there's enough extra space once they've cleared out the refuse, maybe I could reorganize. That'd be pretty nice. You know, maybe just you know, just take over some space that's not needed by the people that are gone now, and then.
Yeah.
Ugh. Of course, then again, isn't that kind of like, if you think about it, one of the problems with the mental health system as it stands right now is that there's a lot of people that are going untreated because they're supposedly not a threat to themselves or others by some really big stretch of the legal definition. Because if they're not considered a threat, then the state can't be required to pay for them to receive treatment.
All right. Okay.
Ahoy hoy.
Yo, what's going on, Mr. Simaj?
It's going all right. I pop in for a little bit, see how things are going.
Oh, right on. There was an article I saw about a conservative lady who was protesting against abortions at abortion clinics, and
Mhm.
supposedly they found 5 fetuses in her house. I'm just
Okay.
thinking, you shouldn't take your work home with you, no matter how hungry you get. It's just not okay.
What the
Is
fuck, dude?
is that what that? Okay, so there's this picture going around of it's like a meme or something. Someone made like this illustration of like a black woman eating a salad, and right next to her is a picture of a white woman, and on her plate is a black baby.
Oh,
And
I
I'm
don't
like,
know if that's related to that. That's funny.
it
Oh,
sounds like it.
I don't. Yeah, I haven't seen anything about like the color of the people that are involved. I just know it's an anti-abortion activist,
Well,
supposedly found with 5 fetuses.
it could be that they're trying,
What the fuck?
like
Wait.
yeah.
No, I was just gonna
What?
say, why did she have the 5 fetuses? Were they her own? Were they
I haven't
fucking
seen anything
like
to
what's?
explain it.
Okay, all right. I would be really curious. Like, was
I
she
don't even
aborting her own babies and saving the fetuses for some fucking reason, or like
could be.
I don't know. I'd really
Sounds
like to know what the fuck happened.
sounds creepy to me. I don't
Okay,
even.
so if I had to
Yeah,
guess as
maybe I
to
don't want to.
why,
Now that I think about it, maybe I don't want to know.
I can tell you, and it's not a disturbing reason.
All
I
right.
guarantee they just want to perform some sort of Christian funeral for them because they consider them lives, and the abortion clinics will take them apart and sell the parts. So they probably
Oh,
want to take them
gotcha.
home, give them a proper burial, like have a priest come over and do like a whole ritual. Um, that's what
That
I would assume is what's going on.
that could make sense. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, and
and
I
it, and
figure
it
that's
could.
why they didn't say anything about why she was doing it, because they don't want to include that, because then it would be less disturbing slightly.
Well, and it
Yeah.
could also be like you would say like, she's a person of faith, and so she probably be against abortions. But it could also be that like maybe she can't have a kid. Like there's complications, and she had
Oh
to
yeah,
abort
yeah,
him.
maybe.
Because I was about to say like why would she? But then again, if she has complications, then maybe. And if she's religious, she doesn't want the organs and the part to go to something. Okay, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's all sorts of weird shit that goes on with that. So
Well, it sounds weird because I don't even know if this is true. It sounds so weird.
yeah, no, it is truly a bizarre decision by anybody. I would say to keep a fetus on hand. Like, yeah, that's not a normal decision that one reaches. Like, I mean, unless you're really
Yeah,
hungry, that's always possible. I don't want to count that out.
I'm gonna count that out. That's terrible. Cannibalism is wrong no matter what happens.
I mean, just think how tender a baby would be if it hadn't even been born yet. Like, those bones might not be formed. You might be able to just chew right through
Yeah,
them.
good source of
Oh,
Yeah.
calcium.
I kind of
Yeah.
made
The
myself a
muscles.
little grossed out there for a second.
This
That was, oh, that kind of got me a little bit. I was like,
is
oh,
the
that's
point.
not.
You either change the subject or shut up. All right.
Yeah, I think. What was
Yeah. The
somebody wanted
muscles
to
would be
talk about
super
somebody
tender.
else, like Keanu Reeves or something wholesome? Puppies,
All right.
kittens. Anybody want to talk about something nice? Oh no.
Something that
Yeah,
isn't
because
this.
I actually want to I want to flesh that idea out and gross you two out. Uh, I'm restraining myself right now.
But see, this is one of those things where
Video
we all
of
lose.
I think it was actually from like years ago of uh, Tim Pool where some dude went up behind him and like took his beanie off.
Mm-hmm. And you
Yeah,
freaked out
really.
on him.
Yeah. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
I
Am I
remember
still
that.
coming through?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, yeah. It was funny though because it's the bald thing, and he was trying to act like it was like, no, I wear a beanie So I'm not as because he pulled it down for him to try to pretend there was some other reason why he was pissed off.
Yeah, we all know the reason. I saw your head. I saw that he was balding. He's got the Captain Picard look. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Is there any good news in the world as of late?
Good news? I mean, it's almost guaranteed at this point that World War III isn't happening. So that's kind of good.
Yeah. That seems to be coming to a close. I mean, I don't know if it might be protracted as far as like how long it goes, but it's clearly gotten past the stage where they might be able to get everybody and force them to sort of join in and create like a world war.
Well, I don't think it was ever going to become a world war, but there are some things that have come to light that do bother me. We recently found out that there is a lab in Ukraine that is doing that gain of function technology that is being I shouldn't say is it's implied or whatever, being funded by the NIH, not NIH, or maybe it is the American system there. So Fauci's paying for more gain of function technology to be developed.
Oh, is he doing it again? Jesus
He,
Christ, dude.
well, no, it's coming to light that there are multiples. One of which is in the Ukraine, which actually could be the reason why the Russians are invading, because they've already seen what's happened with the other virus that already occurred, and if there's a potential coming out of Ukraine for another, yet maybe there's a reason you should invade.
They're
And I'm
like,
not
I'm
saying,
so done. We don't want any more of this bullshit, you guys. We don't want this nonsense going.
and I'm not saying that's what
Yeah, I
is
can see that.
happening, but
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that's what is happening or whatever. It's just that there are reports of it coming out, and we did find out, and they will probably hear more questionings of Dr. Fauci and all that coming up soon about like, hey, can you explain this? What's going on? Because it seems like that's what's going on, and part of the other reason is other parts of the world have lax rules when it comes to this kind of research, so of course they're going to do it. So China was one place, Ukraine's another. Where's the next one going to be? Like, God, what's that other socialist country? Venezuela. Yeah, for all we know, we'll find out there's one there too.
Yeah, wouldn't be at all
A bunch in
surprised.
Africa. I bet they could get away with it in like a lot of countries in Africa. I would
Maybe
think.
if the laws are lax, then they'll do the research over there, which I think is incredibly dangerous. I want this research and this technology to stop. I don't want any
Yeah,
more.
I would very much like to stop gain of function research anywhere. Like that shouldn't be allowed. Like what
Mm-hmm.
possible
Well,
benefit is there of
mm-hmm.
making viruses that did not affect humans now affect humans? That's horribly stupid.
Well, when the wording of it sounds logical, it's like, eventually these viruses will make the transfer over to humans at some point, and you want to know how bad it could get, and so that's okay. That makes sense, but at the same time, like that's also a great excuse to making a bioweapon.
That's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that they will. Like I understand that it's a possibility that they might,
Mhm.
but not a guarantee. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't agree with that part.
Mm-hmm.
That's disturbing. Yeah. Well, that's right. We'll all starve to death before we have to worry about the next COVID with the food shortages, no doubt.
Well, that's the other thing. Yeah, the lockdown was definitely the worst of it all. We shouldn't have done that, like, at
Oh
all.
God, that's why we're having food shortages most likely.
Well, and
Um,
it's funny when you
that and
listen to any.
the fertilizer from Russia we're not getting anymore, which was a massive amount. So.
Well, and it's funny because if you ever listen to the news, that they'll describe that everything bad that's happening right now is coming. It's because of what's going on in Russia or with Ukraine. It's like how is our inflation because of that? And on top of
Yeah,
that, then they say like it's like Russian oil and gas. Like, well, okay, that's like barely a blip on the radar. We don't even need to think about that. All that we're affecting right now is because of what the government's done so far.
yeah. Well, I mean, the oil situation for like gasoline and oil and all that stuff is specifically because Biden shut down all methods we were using to get oil here. Like, yes, the fracking and stuff for like natural gas, but also just like, drilling and tapping oil wells in like, off the coast of California and in various different states have all gotten shut down.
Well, and also getting like oil from Canada as well. So
Yeah.
like the Keystone XL pipeline.
All
So
they're essentially like, we don't need to get oil from the Middle East or from Russia. We can provide all of that ourselves, and in fact, probably begin exporting ourselves.
well, when Donald Trump was in charge, I mean, you guys were exporting it. So like, yeah, you
Yeah.
should. You should be doing that. I mean, hell, and we should be doing the same. And hopefully, enough panic will come in there. It'll force people to force the government to do so. I don't know, but things could get worse before they get better. Because also
Yeah,
have to remember,
I don't
like,
know. I don't know what it's going to take to get people to like actually stand up and throw it on the government at this point.
well, I mean,
You know,
government
I
moves
mean,
slowly. I mean, people are probably reacting now, but like, are they reacting soon enough? I don't know.
yeah, that's true. It may be too late. Like they've pretty well gotten most of the military in that bullshit. Like the military is starting to buy into the nonsense, and they've clearly pushed out uh, like the reasonable people are no longer soldiers anymore. Like it's they're put well not anymore, but I'm just like they're clearly pushing that agenda to the point where they're trying to replace most of the military with these like fucked up SJW morons that have no concept of reality or like what their responsibility would be as a soldier.
Hmm.
You know, because if it was the military from like 10 years ago, I wouldn't have any concern of them supporting like a Biden style government. You know what I mean? Like, but
Hmm.
from how many of the main officers they've replaced, I kind of wonder now: would they side with the people or would they side with the federal government? That's pretty dicey.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yay!
Yay! Global events. How's that for
What
something?
time?
Yeah. So I don't know what else is going on in the world. Um, any of you guys interested in that new Morbius movie?
I did not even know it was coming out. Is it going to be
This.
a movie or is it going to be a political statement? Because that really is what's going to define whether I have any interest in it.
Well, the real question is because this is okay. It's a Sony movie, and yes, it's Marvel, but it's associated Marvel. It's not like exactly Marvel. They're not the ones in charge of it, and so it could go really dark, and it can go really bad. It's hard to say, and it's Morbius the living vampire, and it could be. It stars Jared Leto. Who knows if it's any good? Early reviews are out, and they're all bad. But then again,
Well, Jared
it,
Leto's out of his fucking gourd, so that alone might be interesting enough to make it worth watching.
who knows? I don't know what it's gonna be like. But like I
Yeah,
said,
what
like the early
did
review
that method acting look like?
wasn't his greatest performance to say the least.
I liked him as the Joker. I didn't. I mean, I just sort of considered that not to be canon, but I thought that was an interesting sort of like take on like the Joker sort of mentality for the sake of Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and also the brief appearance he made in the Snyder cut of the Justice League.
Yeah, I I still haven't sat down and watched the Snyder cut. I keep telling myself to do it, but I don't really want to.
Yeah.
Better? Was it better, worse than the original?
The
I don't
Snyder
know.
cut is an entirely different film. If you
Or
haven't seen it, it is 100% a different film from the regular Justice League movie. It's all different footage. There's maybe like 3 scenes that they used over from that were in both films, and other than that, it's an entirely footage shot, just completely different footage. Like the
was
storyline is different. Some of the players are the same. But the whole every interaction, even from the way they bring Superman back, everything is totally different, and it's awesome. It was like actually an enjoyable film. I mean, it is 4 hours long, so you're making a fucking commitment.
that's the real reason I haven't sat down to watch it. So like I know they broke it up into like a mini series. It's like hour-long episodes, or
No, it's just 4 hours of what I saw was on a pirate site, and it was just like a 4 hour long movie.
see it's on like HBO Max, and I don't know if it's like 1 hour episodes, or is it like 2 hour episodes? Like if it's 2 hours, I don't know, man. That's a
That
thing.
is
If
a
it's
long
like
fucking time, yeah.
if it's just like an hour, like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, then I'm okay with that, because then I can take breaks every now and then. And if I'm really interested, I'll watch the next bit.
Yeah.
So.
That is, yeah, I don't know.
Weird. Yep. I should give it a. I'll give it a go at some point. It's just I don't really feel the need. Like I'm more interested in the other stuff, like when James Gunn did the Suicide Squad. I really enjoyed that
Rings
movie.
movie.
Peacemaker. I really enjoyed
I
Peacemaker.
think the only really long movie actually that I didn't mind being that long were like Lord of the Rings.
All right, I managed to make out Lord of the Rings. Everything else was a garbled mess. I'm assuming you said you liked Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm coming through at all.
You're not really, not really. There's some sort of static. Also, it
Yeah,
sounds like you're doing.
sometimes.
Also, sounds like you're doing something. Like are you mixing something in a bowl? I'm assuming. I'm assuming.
I have no idea what's going on. It's all gone to hell. We're all dying. We're all dead.
Uh-huh. See, have
Everything
you guys ever
everything is
had?
over.
I'll degrade it to some food stuff here. Have you guys ever had a Scotched egg?
No, but those look delicious. Is it basically just an egg with like meat baked on the outside of it?
Pretty much. You take like you can either do hard or soft boiled, and then you wrap it like you take a garlic sausage, no, a Ukrainian sausage, I think it was called. This is when I saw the particular recipe. You open up off the skin, and then you flatten it, and then you wrap it around the egg, and then you dip the egg in like was it an egg dip, and then bread it with some breadcrumbs or seasonings or whatever else, and then put it into a deep fryer, and then bring it out, and yeah, you got this crunchy egg. I
That actually
saw
looks quite tasty. I that might be worth trying out sometime.
if you do, let me know. I haven't done it yet. I'm doing the whole keto thing here, so once I get down to decent weight.
If I were gonna do it, oh well, keto style would be easy. But if I were gonna do it, I would do it differently than deep fried.
Mhm.
I would grease up like a muffin tin, and I would put like the sausage in the bottom of the tin. And if you wanted to do it for keto, just throw some Parmesan cheese on the outside of the sausage. Sprinkle some Parmesan cheese in, throw in the sausage, crack the egg in after you make like a little meat cup, and then put the little meat cap on top. Bake that off in the oven until it's cooked as through as you want it, and you're good to go.
Oh, maybe.
It'd be a lot easier, and you wouldn't have to break out a deep fryer.
Right.
Because that's the part where it's like, I do have a very small deep fryer. I mean, you probably put like 2 or 3 Scotch eggs in at a time. But man, I gotta get that thing out. I gotta fill it with oil. I gotta put it on the fucking counter, heat it all the way up, cook the Scotch eggs. Then I gotta drain, filter and drain the oil, put it all back away and shit. It's like that's such a pain in the ass. Not appealing at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds like it would be a bit of a bitch.
So that would be what I would do, and you could do breading that way too. But I mean, I don't know. I don't see a reason to add the breading on the outside if you're going to bake it like that. The only downside is they would be really greasy.
Yeah, probably. Speaking of the whole keto thing, I don't know if you saw pictures, but I did the keto ice cream.
Yeah, it looked funky. I couldn't tell what it was.
Yeah, you said it was a jar of frozen cum.
Oh no, that was the jar in the bowl. I didn't tell. I couldn't see what it was. The jar was just because it was a jar of white stuff, so I didn't make the jar joke. Come on.
No, it's all good. It wasn't fully frozen. That's why it was a bit on the runny side. It's good. Tastes just like regular ice cream. It's good. And then I tried the chocolate recipe. Equally good. Tastes just like ice cream. So it's good. It's
nice.
Yeah, but it freezes more like the. It doesn't come off as even as I thought. So my problem is that the recipe required not a very big jar. I did an extra large one, so that's probably the problem. So I don't have the right mixture in there, because you're supposed to use a mason jar, and then you mix everything in there, shake it, and you're supposed to put in like vanilla extract, and that contains a little bit of the alcohol that makes it so it separates, so it doesn't come together in one big clump. And it works. It works. And with the chocolate, it's like the same recipe, except you add cocoa powder.
Yeah, because cocoa powder is really, really low carb. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly, and it's quite tasty, and it tastes just like regular chocolate ice cream. So it's really good. I probably put in a little bit more cocoa powder just for flavoring. Besides that, decent. I wouldn't put it on an ice cream cone or nothing, because it sort of thaws real fast.
I mean, the ice cream cone would be carbs, so
exactly. Yeah.
That would be a terrible thing. Like, I want to make keto ice cream and put it on an ice cream cone.
Yeah,
as every keto person just starts cringing throughout the world. I mean, could you make one out of cheese though? I suppose if you know what, you could actually probably make a pretty decent ice cream cone out of almond flour as a base.
You probably could.
Probably be better than your average one, because it'd be really nutty and almondy flavored.
Oh, could be. I know, okay, I've had keto, like a keto cookie. I bought one at the store the other day. They taste okay. They're a little chewy, and there's a bit of a strange aftertaste, but it's okay.
Yeah, it can be really tough to find ways to sweeten things keto in a manner that doesn't give you an aftertaste. The best I've ever found is stevia and xylitol. You use a little bit of stevia and you use a little bit of xylitol, and they kind of help to cancel out the weird aftertaste of the stevia and a little bit of the cold of the xylitol, the sugar alcohols. But you know, again, you still have the fact that it's sugar alcohol, so you got to be you don't want to do too heavy or eat too much of anything that you sweeten it with.
For sure,
because it'll give you the shits.
And there was another recipe here for a keto chocolate cake, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that sounds pretty good. I probably won't do anything like that for a little while. I gotta work up to that.
Well, and sometimes it's just such a fucking pain in the ass to get everything. It's not worth it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it depends. If you're in a sweet tooth and you need to have something, I mean, you might as well. The keto ice cream works. The only problem I had the other day is that with keto ice cream is that if you you need to eat it the day that you make it. Otherwise, it's going to get way too hard for you to get out. And if it is too hard, just leave it on the counter at room temperature for 20 to 30 minutes. Then you can actually work with it. But I did that. I had it in the freezer for too long, and I thought I'd sit down and I was watching some shows, and I had the ice cream on me, and I just kept trying to scrape it off the the edge while it was thawing because I really wanted it. And the problem is that I pressed too hard, and the spoon it broke off, and my spoon went right through the jar on the other side. So I broke the jar trying to get this fucking ice cream out.
Damn.
So lesson is there. It's like, you know what? Don't be impatient. Wait.
Yeah, really.
So now I have to get.
Fucking He-Man breaking up the fucking jars with the spoon and shit, though.
Yeah, I suppose. So that's the
Except then you got a fucking broken jar to clean up, and that's a pain in the ass.
exactly. Well, and I'm trying to get like other mason jars, but the problem is that like mason jars they sell them in packs. Like
Yeah,
there's
you gotta buy like a fucking dozen.
yeah. Yeah, and I found that out the other day. I finally found them at Walmart, but they was like you had to get like 6 of them, and it was like $14 for 6. I'm like, it's just the right size and everything. But
Yeah.
what would I do with the others? I mean, you can use it for pickling and storing stuff, but I don't really do that.
We used the jars. I'd say we use the jars fairly regularly because we have a Meyer lemon tree in the front yard.
Mm-hmm.
Meyer lemons are just slightly sweeter than regular lemons, but they're lemons, and we can go out and harvest that on a good day and get 2 or 3 gallons worth of lemon juice. So like and then it's just simple. You have lemon juice in the fridge, and anytime you want lemonade, you go make some simple syrup, and you can mix it up with the lemon juice you've already got squeezed and filtered out. Make yourself
that
a
sounds good.
pitcher of lemonade. So usually, when summer's starting to come, like we'll probably be doing it in like the next month or two. We'll squeeze like a gallon or two worth of juice every so often. Also, it's nice to have for like cooking or if you want to marinate stuff. It's nice to have just like a bunch of lemon juice on hand.
Right.
Yeah, pickles is another thing, and then you always use it for like dry goods. Like if you have to store a bunch of beans, they look cooler in glass jars than they do in like a bag with a fucking rubber band around it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, unless you're canning, you're probably just not going to be able to find a good use for that many jars, other than maybe it's like hillbilly glasses.
Well, I would like to take okay. One time, I can think of a reason to use 3 of them. As I do want to make Neapolitan. I can make chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. I just need yeah. There's a recipe for making strawberry ice cream as well. Yeah, my only reason I haven't done because strawberry is my favorite. But the only reason
really good.
See, but the only reason I haven't done that is I can't. One of the things required is strawberry extract. It's like vanilla extract, but strawberry. And I haven't been able to find that.
Make it.
See, I don't know how.
Just take a bunch of strawberries, cook them down until the liquid comes out, strain off the liquid, and that's probably about what you get for strawberry extract. It would have sugar in it because the fruit. So I mean, you'd have to calculate how much sugar content went in, and assume you're taking out the dietary fiber with the material. I mean, and then I would reduce the liquid too. I would cook it down till it's like most of the water's out and it's mostly strawberry juice of some kind. I mean, because the strawberry flavoring, strawberry extract is probably going to be a very different flavor anyway. And I just would assume, I don't know. I mean, it can't be that high in carbs because I used to eat strawberries on keto. Because berries tend to be like not so high in carbs that you can't have any. But
right.
I'm sure when you balance it out over the whole serving of ice cream, you probably wouldn't do too bad. You might have to go really light on the carbs for the first part of the day in order to save up enough allowance for it though.
I'll think about it.
Because let's see. I'm going to assume your recipe requires like less than a tablespoon of extract.
Pretty much. I don't need a whole lot.
Let's see, and I would assume you really only would need about a cup of strawberries. So let's see, would be 11 grams total carbohydrates in the cup. and you'd probably get enough for like 4 or 5 tablespoons worth of extract. No, in a cup, I'd say you'd maybe get 4. So figure like 2.5 to 3 grams of carbs per serving of strawberry extract that goes into your recipe. Just as an estimate, I don't know. One of the other things I used to do was I bought popsicle molds, and you can take like fresh fruit and just like blend it up into a puree and freeze it as a popsicle. And things like strawberries or blueberries are really good. You just don't make the popsicle too big, you know?
Right. Oh, okay.
That was a really refreshing, nice, fruity treat. Because one of the things that got me off of keto was not having vegetables and fruit be available like whenever, you know? Like, I like to eat a lot of fruit and strawberry and vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I couldn't handle not having, you know, like a handful of grapes now and then, or like an apple, or like a fucking orange or something, whenever I wanted one.
Right. Yeah, I could see that being an issue.
Like one of my things I'll eat for like dessert is just dried figs, because like as far as taste, they just taste like Fig Newtons. Like it's because Fig Newtons just taste like figs essentially. You just didn't have the shortbread.
God, I haven't had a Fig Newton in years. One of those things I had a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah. It's like one of those cookies that parents buy their kids a lot because they're quote unquote healthy. I have no idea. I've never really looked at like the nutritional fucking, you know, stuff on a box of cookies. I'm not buying them to be healthy.
Fair enough. I wonder where Decoy is. He seems to have disappeared.
Oh, he's given up. He gave up because his fucking internet is just dying over and over on him, apparently.
Oh, I wonder if there's a storm coming for him.
Oh, maybe the Canadians or no, wait, he's not Canadian. Why am I thinking the Canadians were going to come get him?
Because you thought storms in Canada always has these terrible winter storms.
Well, I just assume sooner or later they're going to send like a Gestapo out to try to fucking root out and like fucking kidnap and put all the conservatives into camps in Canada sooner or later.
Well, maybe in California. I don't know. Maybe I should stop talking about this because aren't you in California?
Yeah, really? I'm a little worried now.
Yeah, don't say that so much. You're scaring me.
I'm just going to concentrate on making my miso soup. I bought the bonito flakes and the kombu kelp in order to like cook my own dashi, because it's like that's all miso soup is. It's like dashi, which is like a fish broth, and then miso paste mixed in. Like that's really the only thing that makes it miso soup. All the other stuff is completely like whatever you want to add. Like if you want to put in tofu, go for it. If you want to put in greens or meat or whatever you want to put in miso soup is totally fine. It just has to be dashi and miso paste. So, I thought, you know what? I'm going to fucking make some miso soup from scratch because I really like miso soup when I get it from restaurants, right? Like, it's super fucking good. But it's fucking expensive to get that shit from restaurants. And then I tried making it with packets, like buying like the Japanese style, like miso soup packets. And those are okay, but they're just not as good. Like there's just something missing. But so I'm hoping making my own is a feasible thing because it's super easy. You just like soak the kelp in your water overnight, then you get everything up to a simmer, take the kelp out, throw in the fish flakes, get it up to a simmer again, strain it off your dashi, and then mix with miso paste, and you got your soup. And then everything else is just, gravy if you want to add it on to the top. Like, I'm going to throw in some, like, tofu and some greens and some mushrooms and shit. But got to get that good savory mix in there. And then apparently you can even take the leftover fish flakes that you use to make the dashi and the leftover kelp. Like after you've boiled all the flavor for your dashi out of it, you can apparently still use those for other food like dishes.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they'll also do like some of them if they're really poor will just cook a second round of dashi with the same stuff, just boil it really hard to get one more use out of it for dashi. But I was like, you can just add some like seasonings and some like soy sauce, a little brown sugar, and some fucking rice wine, and turn it into like a rice sort of seasoning mix kind of thing, where you just save most of it in a jar and you just put like a tablespoon on top of your rice or whatever to flavor it. I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. And I like being able to not throw shit away.
Save it for later.
Oh, I love being able to turn like food from one meal into another meal. That's one of the best right there, man. Like you got leftover meat or something, cook it into like an entirely new dish, so you're just saving all that money on meat. Oh, that's just. I mean, I don't even have to worry about that. I just like doing that.
Yeah, fair enough. Hey, I have to head out. I'm going to see what's happening with gaming before he ends the stream for like 10 hours.
Oh, so, yeah, I'll probably call it a day here, because if day twa's out and you're gonna, it's no worries. I'm just gonna shut it down.
Can you ramble on for one person for a little bit?
I could, but it'd be fucking boring after a while. If I'd prepared, I could have found a bunch of shit to fucking.
Yeah, if you had like a list of things, maybe you could react to memes.
Oh, that sounds so fucking thrilling. I would be the only one that ever did that. Ever.
Hey, you know what? VTuber. let me tell you, VTubers make millions every month doing that.
So, I've genuinely considered VTubing. I may look into that, like giving that a shot.
What would you have in mind?
All right, so here's my thought. I want it to be like a dragon character, but like a really friendly looking dragon.
Like a cartoon dragon or like an anime-ish dragon?
Like sort of halfway between. Just like a friendly, like, yeah, it's a dragon, but it's not like, trying to look like a badass. It's just very anthropomorphic dragon. And then do some gaming on like Twitch, but also tell stories. Like look at all the old stuff that's out there on public domain and read some like excerpts from like old fiction stuff and write stuff myself and talk about it, and tell stories that way. I just think it'd be like an interesting thing to do. I don't know that anybody would fucking watch. I just would enjoy doing it.
You never know. I mean, get the right hashtags out there. You never know what could be popular.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna be downloading software soon, and I'm gonna see about making my own little thing. I'll DM you what I had going for myself. Not to mention, as soon as I tell people I'm looking into this, goddamn women out of the woodworks like, hey, can you make me one? Can you make me one?
Well, I unlike those women, will actually compensate you if you make me one. If I end up deciding to do that, I don't ask people to spend like hours doing art for free. It's a little much.
Well, okay, that's the dichotomy of how this works. I mean, with guys, I expect money. With women, I expect some lip work. But
hey, ask cash or grass. Nobody rides for free.
Exactly. There you go. So yeah, there's one I did for my friend, one I did for myself. So we'll see how this goes.
Nice.
Damn it, dog.
Nice, very nice. Are they 3D or 2D?
2D. 3D is when I start playing around with Blender and figure out how to make them. It's possible. I just don't know how to integrate it with the programs. I mean, it is possible. There's a lot of like how-tos, like make your model and all that other kind of stuff. What I want to know more is like how do I do the animations and how do I transfer it? Because I know it's you can download the motion tracker that most people use is like a 2D Live, and it's an app you can download on your phone. Your phone is the best camera to use because you could use like a webcam if you want. But they're not very good. The cameras on phones are so intuitive that they work way better than anything you can get on your computer.
Oh, and I just bought a smartphone like a few months ago, so I'm up to date on phones too. So that's
See, there cool. You go. So yeah, like the 2D Live app is free. Like you can get it. It already has some preset models. You can't really you can't monetize them or anything, but they exist.
But you can play around and figure out how shit works.
Exactly. I mean, there's not much you can do, but I mean, you can play around with it and see how it goes
See how to set it up where you got to put the phone, what how the settings and whatever your software is that you're using to broadcast work and test and see what it looks like on the other end. So that's plenty to do without being buying a model before testing that out.
Yeah, because the first thing is you got well, okay. There's two aspects. There's the like making them all or the puppet as they tend to call and that's where I come in. I draw it up and everything. My problem is though right now is that on my tablet, which is I do all my drawings, it can't do the right because the file size actually has to be quite big, and it can only do a certain size. So anything I do, I have to do on my computer. So I'm going to be downloading a new art app soon, and when I do that, then I can make the proper stuff. After that, it's all about rigging in whatever in the 2D Live software that I'm learning from scratch. So I can make them all. Someone else can rig it if you wanted to get going in like a month or so. Even if it takes that long. So that's what I've been telling people. I told my friend, like I'll do them all for you. You'll have to get a rigger. It could cost anywhere between like maybe $500-$700 to pay for a rigger. But the thing is like now I know that sounds like a lot, but here's the thing. Usually, because VTubers are actually very good at promoting other VTubers, and so you get a lot of people like shout outs and all that very soon. There's actually channels dedicated to shouting out new streamers, new VTubers. So if you start putting the VTuber hashtag in your thing, they'll start shouting you out. You can grow pretty fast in VTubers because the community there is so huge. So that's one way. With that said, though, I would always advise that you do a more anime-ish model because they always do better. But for us guys...
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
But for me, I'm going to do a more cartoony thing just because that's what I want to do. Mostly because when I stream stuff, it won't be anime related. It'll probably be more comics and...
See, I'm thinking like anime, a little bit cartoony, so it doesn't look like I'm trying to be like the super cool demon dude. You know what I mean? Like, but friendly looking.
Oh yeah, well, because everyone's out for fun. We're not in for politicals and stuff.
Yeah.
The whole thing is all about fun.
Exactly. So, yeah.
Which it's fine with women because they don't like talking about serious stuff like that. So like, fine with me. Go for it. Go nuts. Have fun.
The VTube is clearly the next place for ethoughts to just lead poor stupid men on and.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. But the other thing is to keep in mind is that the you don't know the people behind the puppet. For all you know, these are like horribly ugly people.
Oh yeah, no. It's just another. It's the same sort of game plan for how they make their money. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what they actually look like because the only thing that matters is the model on the screen. But the behavior is 100% the same.
That's right.
Yeah, and so it's like it's just more ethottery bullshit. But it still has an opportunity there, I think, for like more interesting things to be done.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So that's one way of going at it.
And I may be able to find a rigger that might work like for less than $500 through the VR chat groups that I'm in because I know a lot of people on there that do models and stuff. So. Well,
you can even get cheaper than that. There is Fiverr. Like you can go onto Fiverr and there are people who can rig it. Although, like I said, like you can go.
I don't think I'll go that low. I'd rather work with somebody that's good who will just cut me a deal because they're like, oh hey, I know you.
Well, here's one way. Well, here's one way of putting it. Like, let's say you hire a rigger off of Fiverr, and you can give them like, let's say $50 to do just the basics, and it looks okay. Yeah. You can get in touch with that same rigger and say like next month, let's say, or your next paycheck, give them another 50. Hey, can you do a few bit more? And so because he already knows what he's working with, he says so like every month, so like within like 2 or 3 months, you got like a fully working thing. It's just you're starting from the basics. So that's my way of thinking about it. It's like
yeah. Don't go too far too fast, kind of thing.
Exactly. Keep it cheap. Just say do the basics, and then come back next paycheck or next month or whatever. Put in a little bit more. You get a little bit more action. Put in a little bit more. Get a little bit more action. And so within a month, you'll have, or 2 months or however long it will take you to do this, you'll have everything you need.
Ah, nice,
So
interesting. I'll have to check that out. Although if I
Yeah.
do start VTubing, it's going to be a completely separate thing from here. Like it won't.
I would
be
recommend
at all
that you do
related.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say do something completely different.
Just something I want to do on my own, like is my own little thing on like Twitch and potentially on YouTube, but probably more on Twitch than anything else.
Yep, I'd say that's probably good. Don't do anything. I mean, mention a politics.
I'm going to
every
stay
now and then
away
if you
from
want.
politics. I'm going to just tell stories and play games. I would want to do something that people can enjoy that doesn't, involve the regular stress they're already dealing with.
Get ready to play a lot of indie games because that's what a lot of them do.
Oh yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of wacky games out there that I've never heard of that, I'll have to see what people do. Like what are people interested in watching? Because that's as important as what I want to play,
To be fair, you do a lot. You do a lot of that already. I mean, you played that finding game with like those stick figure people,
yeah.
or not?
That was really fun. I enjoyed that.
It's like a Where's Waldo, but but not really.
Yeah, that was pretty lame.
But
yep,
yeah, that's
I would have fun doing that. I think though.
Yeah, well, that's something to keep in mind. So I thought I'd bring that up, and so you have some semblance of an idea of what you're going for. And like I said, like most VTubers, they tend to make their money back within the first couple of months. So I wouldn't worry too much because people like new up and coming VTubers. But if you
let's see if I actually make any money. I'm not counting on anything. I'm not going to assume any sort of income out of this.
Well, see, a lot of people know that money gets spent on these things right away. And so that's what I mean by like VTubers will come out and they get donations pretty fast within the first month or so. Mostly because they know that you spent like $1,000 from one of these things, so they want to see you get your money's worth. But then after that, it's all up to you. So you'll have a lot of them get quick growth, but then whether or not they have continuous growth depends on you and your content. And then there again, it's like, can you learn what your audience wants? Also, depending on where the audience would come from, you need to, because you're sharing it between other VTubers. They may just do it just to be nice, but then who knows after that? It's like, is it you?
Oh yeah. You have to be able to network. You have to be able to demonstrate value to both your audience and the other people that might pimp you. Because if you're a sinking ship, they get nothing out of promoting you. Like it doesn't potentially, result in you promoting them back and getting them more of an audience too.
I would say like for you, because you go on the VR chat, it would be a lot easier if you had a 3D model, and then you can easily get content just going on VR chat.
That would be one of the things I could do, but I prefer, like, I could do it, but if I did, I'd want to make an, I'll consider that. I'll consider that. I don't want to get too involved in that because there's too many weird, creepy relationships that people try to form in VR chat that are kind of like just dodgy.
Yeah, but that's part. Yeah, but that's part of the fun of it all. To see all that cringy shit and see it on YouTube.
See, I'm coming from like a more of like the telling stories and the like increasing, like I want to reach out to people's like imagination and like stir that creative impulse more than just be like something to watch and like fucking melt your head to,
Mm-hmm. Nope, fair enough. Here's hoping.
Yeah,
but
really.
Anyway, you brainstorm some of that ideas and I don't think of that. See what you really want to do, and we'll see how things happen. And,
I gotta crack the old knuckles and fucking do some more writing.
Let's see, there you go. But anyway, I'm gonna hop off back and see how gaming's doing. So I will talk to you later.
Adios.
Take care. Bye.
Alrighty. Alright, there may be somebody still here, it looks like. That might be just a ghost in the shell. But if you've made it this far, thank you for joining us. Unfortunately, we are cutting it short because of internet issues, which you wouldn't know because you probably listened to that whole thing if you stuck around this far. And I'm going to go because this is getting weird and uncomfortable.